Hey, this is Dr. W with Paul Wall Productions, and we are going to talk about money. And this is going to be something that we do in a very natural way about money, not really gimmicky. It is really going to be this particular conversation, and I need you to clarify in the comments who you are, what you do, and we're going to get at it. We are going to get focused. 2025 and beyond, what has happened has happened. If you were doing something focused and intentional, we have to keep that going and level it up. If you have not been doing what you need to do, now is the time. YouTube has not been something in social media that I have been doing for long at all. This is where I said I have to have this conversation with you. So, what is it that I specifically want to review now? I want to remove one particular word that we use over and over again, and it just turns me off. And that is this BUDGET, freaking budget. What is it? And all these apps. I don't have time for that. Why do I need to hook up my checking account to an app? We're not doing that. We are going to focus on what you have coming in versus what you have going out. That is it. And with all that comes with it, a lot of it's going to be psychological, but it's what have you been doing with your money. So that's the key thing. So let me tell you the key place to start. You start with a book. So I have this particular book where I write down. Sometimes I scribble in it, but I am writing down my expenses, and then I am telling a particular story that is factual with my particular numbers. That's where you have to start. You have to start with where have you been and where are you going. Budget makes it sound like there's an absolute structure that it has to be. No. What are you doing with your money? You have to count the costs. It is really that. And so when thinking about money, it's where is it originating? And there are only three places you're getting money from. Only three. You're either going to earn it, or someone is going to give it to you, or what's the last one? Huh? What? You're going to steal it. You're going to be a thief. That's what happens. If you think there's another way to earn money or steal, or if you think that in a sense someone giving you money, if you think that there's a different way to get money, go ahead and put it in the comments. Listen, I am going to look at them and I'm going to read them. I want to know, is there really some other way? Now, we might have a combination of all three. We might inadvertently steal some money. I don't know. I am hoping that the priority is earning your money and seeing where that's going. And so, when thinking about what I want you to take away from this, what the good Dr. W is telling you to do, I'm telling you that first, you have to get a book with blank pages that you can write in. And you have to have a pen or some type of writing utensil, I don't care, where you can start writing the date and writing how much money do you have. And then I want you to write down all your expenses. And this is where you need to start. And don't do anything with it yet. We're going to continue to go through what that looks like. But I need you to start with writing it down and keeping a ledger. Now, there's some people that might say, well, damn it, Dr. W, that is a budget. Yeah, but that word, good gracious, the connotation of it. I want you to think about where you're going and having a plan. And the way I thought about this is kind of like if I have to drive somewhere and I don't know how to get there, I have to put that in. Thankfully, we have GPSs now on these electronic leashes that we have, and it will tell me how to get there. Now, what it doesn't completely tell me, and this is where you're writing down what's coming in and you're writing down what's going out, it doesn't tell you about every single stoplight. It's not telling you when you have to stop at the red, where you have to be cautious at the yellow, and then the green says go. It's not telling you that. It's not telling you specifically about the cop who is on the highway with a radar trying to determine who is speeding. It's not telling you that. And so when thinking about going to the destination, you know where you want to go, but there's various things in the way that you have to be mindful of. And as we say this, I want to also think about the destination. Do you actually know where you're going? Do you? What's the end goal really? Because I am sure in our time together that if you have an idea of where you are trying to go, that there's a way that you can get there a lot quicker than you might think. Or some journeys are going to take some serious time. And so we have to know where we're going. And that's going to be something that you and I are going to be best friends. I'm telling you, we're going to feel like family. And it's going to be a family and a friendship where you may not always want to see me. You may not listen to everything I say. You might say, well, what's going on with your life that you can tell me? Take it or leave it. I'm thinking that we want to focus on where you're going, and we can go there together. So you're going to get to know Dr. W quite well and how I use money. We're going to talk about relationships when it comes to money. We're going to talk about career and job and what that looks like. Where do you live? Do you have an apartment? Do you own your house? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have a mortgage, which is a death pledge? Do you have that? We are going to have to go through that. You got a kid? You got multiple kids? We have to go through various aspects, but please, you have to start with getting a book. Hey, if you want to do it on the computer, fine. But I like to get my pen. I like to get my particular notepad, and we are going at it. And that has to be the particular focus. Start it off, know what you're doing in the sense of expenses, and that's going to be our data. And we're going to monitor our data. And we're going to think about different interventions about what you need to do, because each case is different. That's why they call it personal finance. Here's what I ask of you while you do all this. Don't tell yourself a lie. That's not going to help you. Do not tell yourself a lie. And what do I mean? You can tell a story and lie to everyone else, but I'm going to think while you are with me that you are going to comment the truth. People won't know. And you can lie to everyone else, but being true to yourself, I don't know where my money's going. The hell you don't. You know exactly where your money goes. It just is no mystery. It just doesn't disappear. You have to actively do something with it. None of this works if you're not honest with yourself. And I'm going to make that commitment as well. But it has to be the core of whether this is purely entertainment or is this really something where you're trying to move the mark. Because this life, it ain't long. And being worried about owing someone, being in denial about what you're making and what's going out. And we're not going to deal in small potato stuff. Oh, you shouldn't have a cup of coffee every day. We're not going to talk about that. And I don't care in the sense of that it's comfortable. I want you to be completely consumed by getting out of debt. It has to be every inch of who you are. And if you do it the way that gets you there the fastest, it will not take as long as you think. But you have to make some decisions. You can't make more debt. And you have to be true to yourself. So that's what we're going to go over. I ask that you stick with me. Dr. W. I am someone that we can have just a particular conversation in the comments, other videos that I make. Stick with me and we'll focus on these things.